In previous period, we have derived the formula of pressure exerted by the gas present in a container. In that formula, one term is V square bar. V square bar is nothing but mean square speed. Now we derive root mean square speed. If you take a square root of this V square bar, then we get root mean square speed. To derive this equation, we use the formula of pressure, that P is equal to 1 by 3 N divided by V, M V square bar. Keep V square bar one side, shift the remaining terms to the LHS side. Also, from ideal gas equation, we know PV is equal to nRT. Substitute the value of PV is equal to nRT in above equation. If you substitute that value, then we get the equation 3 nRT divided by n m, which is equal to V square bar. But we know small n is equal to capital N divided by Na. Substitute that value in equation. Then V square bar is equal to 3 n divided by Na into RT divided by n m. N get cancelled. We get 3 RT divided by Na into m. This product Na into m is nothing but m0. Na into m, we use another term as m0 known as molar mass. Substitute that in equation. This equation gives you the mean square speed, but we have to calculate root mean square speed. So we take square root of this equation, then we get Vrms, that is root mean square speed, which is equal to in a square root V square bar. After substituting the value of V square bar as 3RT divided by m0, so Vrms is equal to in square root 3RT divided by m0. It gives you the root RMS speed of molecule of a real gas, that is root mean square speed of molecules of real gas. Also we know the speed of sound in a gas. That formula we have derived in 11th standard, that is first formula given by the Newton, and then Laplace made correction in the formula of speed of sound in a gas, and that formula is V is equal to in a square root gamma RT divided by m0. Gamma is nothing but Cp divided by Cv. This ratio is called as adiabatic ratio. Maximum value of gamma is nothing but 5 divided by 3. This 5 divided by 3, if you solve it, then it becomes 2 point something. That means it is less than the 3 present in the RMS speed of the gas molecules. So 5 divided by 3 is less than 3. It indicates that this value Vs is less than the Vrms. That means sound cannot be moved or travel faster the average speed of the molecule. That means velocity of sound in a gas or in air is always less than RMS velocity of gas molecules. Velocity of sound is always less than the RMS velocity of molecules of the gas. Interpretation of temperature in kinetic theory. Here we calculate the average energy per molecule, and we see the relation of this average energy per molecule with the temperature. So we write in question wise, that is prove that average energy per molecule is proportional to absolute temperature. We derive this equation. For the derivation of this proof, we again starts from the formula of pressure exerted by the gas molecule on the wall of the container. Shift V to the LHS, then we get PV is equal to 1 by 3 N M V square bar. So to convert this M V square bar into the kinetic energy, we multiply numerator and denominator by 2. This 1/2 M V square bar gives you the average translational kinetic energy. But we don't substitute the value of that here. We use the few concept. In ideal gas, intermolecular forces are 0. Because of that, potential energy is 0. So total internal energy of ideal gas is nothing but kinetic energy plus potential energy. But potential energy 0. So internal energy of a gas is equal to kinetic energy. So now this is for 1 molecule of gas, but there are n number of molecules present. So average total internal energy or net total internal energy of ideal gas is nothing but n times kinetic energy. So E is equal to n times kinetic energy. But kinetic energy is nothing but 1/2 M V square bar. Now we substitute for this term in above equation, that is N 1/2 M V square bar. In place of that, now we substitute the E. So PV is equal to 2 by 3 into E, that is total energy or average internal energy. E is equal to 3 by 2 PV by shifting denominator 3 to LHS and numerator 2 to the LHS. Also we know PV is equal to N kBT. This formula we have derived in a previous lecture. Now in place of PV, substitute that value in above equation. So E is equal to 2 by 3 N kBT. Shift N to the other side. So E divided by N is equal to 3 by 2 kB into T. kB is nothing but Boltzmann constant and 3 by 2 is also constant. Naturally, E divided by N is proportional to T. This E divided by N gives you average energy per molecule, and that average energy per molecule is directly proportional to the absolute temperature of the gas. Law of equipartition of energy. We know the formula of kinetic energy of single molecule, or it is also called as kinetic energy per molecule. Ke is equal to 1/2 M V square bar, but V square bar is nothing but Vx square bar plus Vy square bar plus Vz square bar. What is Vx square bar? That is a mean square velocity along x-axis. V square y bar is nothing but mean velocity along the mean square velocity along the y-axis, and this Vz square is a mean square velocity along the z axis, and total of all these three, their average is nothing but v square bar. We substitute the value of that v square bar in this equation and separate out. So kinetic energy is equal to 1 half m Vx square bar plus 1 half m Vy square bar plus 1 half m Vz square bar. We write average of it. That average can be denoted by two symbols, less than and greater than, which indicates that average kinetic energy per molecule. So write in symbolic form. Also we have derived E divided by N is nothing but 3 by 2 kBT, and this E divided by N is nothing but kinetic energy. So naturally the average kinetic energy is also equivalent to the 3 by 2 kBT. So but average energy per molecule is 3 by 2 kBT. So in place of kinetic energy we write as 3 by 2 kBT. We may separate out it as 3 1 half kBT. This 3 indicates that we added this 1 half kBT 3 times. So we separate as per that 1 half kBT plus 1 half kBT plus 1 half kBT, which gives the total 3 times 1 half kBT. If you observe this equation, it indicates that first average kinetic energy along x-axis is equal to 1 half kBT. Also, second term average kinetic energy along y-axis is also equal to 1 half kBT, and average kinetic energy along z-axis is also equal to 1 half kBT. That we write separately here, which indicates that average kinetic energy along each axis is remain constant and its value is equal to 1 half kBT. Average, it is also known as mean energy associated with every component of translational energy is 1 half kBT. What is every component? That means along x-axis, along y-axis and along z-axis. But when you consider all three axes together, then total translational energy by the contribution of single molecule is addition of kinetic energy or translational energy along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and which is equal to 3 by 2 kBT. So equally energy distributed along the three axes, so it is called as law of equipartition of energy. For a gas in a thermal equilibrium at a temperature capital T, the average energy for a molecule associated with each quadratic term, that means along x-axis or along y-axis or along z-axis, is 1 half kBT. That means along each axis energy, average energy remain a constant and its value is 1 half kBT. This law is valid for high temperature of gas. Degree of freedom. Molecule as a whole is free to move from one point to the other in the three-dimensional space. So molecule is vibrate freely in the universe. That means it may be vibrate along the x direction, along the y direction, or along the z direction. So it is a free. So allowed to move in. Therefore, the molecule has three translational kinetic energy. Either this molecule move along this x-axis, this is first kinetic energy, or it is move along this y-axis, this is second kinetic energy, or along this z-axis, this is third translational kinetic energy. So in that case, molecule has degree of freedom is equal to 3. If the molecule is restricted to hybrid in only xy plane or yz plane or zy plane, the molecule has two translational kinetic energy. Why? Suppose molecule now has allowed to move along x and y axis. Then it either move along x axis or either move along the y axis. If molecule has a restriction to move in z and y axis, then molecule may either move along y axis or may either move along the z axis. So it has kinetic energy along y axis or kinetic energy along the z axis. So its degree of freedom is now 2. Whatever the information written in red bracket, these are the extra information for your knowledge that are not necessary to write in the exam. And in third case, if molecule moves along a straight line, that means we have restricted the motion of molecule along only one axis, either x-axis or either y-axis or either z-axis. Then that molecule possesses a kinetic energy along only one axis, either x or y or z. In that case, degree of freedom is 1. This is related to the degree of freedom with respect to the translational kinetic energy of a single molecule. But there are different types of molecules like monoatomic molecules or diatomic molecules. What is a monoatomic molecules? The molecules of same material and made up by a single atoms called as monoatomic gases, or we say the helium, which is single, which is not in combination form. So monoatomic molecules, that means molecules of same gases, they are not combined with the other. This molecule has 3 translational kinetic energy, each along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So in that case, its degree of freedom is 3. So there is no complication in case of monoatomic gases. Always degree of freedom for monoatomic gas is 3. But for diatomic gas, like oxygen or hydrogen, that is a combination of 2 oxygen atoms. This is the first O and this is second. Or hydrogen, this is the first hydrogen and second hydrogen bounded together. That hydrogen atom together move along x-axis, along y-axis or along z-axis. So this diatomic molecule has 3 translational kinetic energy. If you consider these 2 molecules along x-axis, then it rotate along the z-axis or it either rotate along this y-axis. So it has 2 rotational kinetic energy. So total degree of freedom is 5. For diatomic gas like oxygen, hydrogen, carbon monoxide, it has 3 translational kinetic energy and 2 rotational kinetic energy. So total energy 2 plus 3, that is 5, and degree of freedom is 5 for diatomic gas. But one condition, it is for an ideal gas. When we consider the real molecule of a gas, they form covalent bond, they perform vibration. Such molecule has additional 2 vibrational energies. One vibrational energy is kinetic energy and another vibrational energy is a potential energy. That means when you consider the hydrogen molecule again, then it has a 3 translational energy along 3 axes, x axis, y axis and z axis. Also, if you take it on one axis along x axis, then it may rotate along z axis or rotate along the y axis. So 3 translational, 2 rotational. This molecule vibrates with respect to its mean position. This molecule also vibrates with respect to its mean position. So it has a kinetic energy because of vibration and it has a potential energy because of vibration. That means these 2 vibrational energies. So total energy is 3 plus 2 plus 2, that is 7. So its degree of freedom is 7 when you consider the vibrational energy. When vibrational motion is considered, then diatomic molecule has 3 translational degree of freedom, 2 rotational degree of freedom and 2 vibrational degree of freedom, total 7 degree of freedom. That also written in red bracket. Whatever the written in the red brackets, that is extra information not required for examination.